Hi everyone, Curtis here from Goth Rider Creations, and in today's episode I'm finally going to let everyone know the details of my first ever guitar build for the Great Guitar Build-Off. Stay tuned! Now first off, I do want to apologise for the delay in getting this video out. It's been 3 months maybe. A lot's happened. I've had, I started a new job recently, complete career change, so it's been very busy. On top of that, Mrs. Goth Rider has managed to do what she does best and found me an absolutely amazing deal on a shed. So I have been spending almost every weekend digging and concreting, trying to get the base sorted to actually put up my workshop. Now, I have been filming bits and pieces of it, so there will be an episode coming out in due course, but you can't film everything, it takes far too long. So, yeah. Anyway, apart from that, today we're actually going into the details of my entry for the Great Guitar Build-Off 2022. I've watched it for the last couple of years, it's been really good fun, and this is my emphasis to actually get started. So, there are a few details that everyone likes to give about the project they're doing, and here's mine. Now, if you watched the first episode, then you will have seen the basis for my project. It is an S-type guitar, and we managed to get it second hand for, well, it was a broken guitar, so it was less than ideal. But I am going to be using that as the template for the guitar, which is going to save me a lot of time and a lot of aggro trying to work out all the various angles and the sizes and everything that I need to know, because let's face it, I don't know much. On top of that, I'm also going to be using the electronics, most of the hardware, the tuners, all of the bits and pieces that would cost quite a bit of money to buy separately. Now, my guitar is not really going to be a classic S-type guitar. I am going to change the design quite a bit, because the way I see it, if you're going to make a custom guitar, what's the point in making one that's already out there? You might as well put your own stamp on it. Now, I also want to show people that even a complete novice like myself, who has never built a guitar in his life, can still make something interesting and different. Now, with that in mind, I'm hoping, and don't quote me on this, but I'm hoping to make a neck-through, S-type, hollow body, flat-topped guitar. I have got a truss rod going in, I'm going to put stiffening rods into the neck, and I'm going to see what I can do about possibly illuminating the inside or doing something trick. I am going to do it as a fretted guitar. I'm going to make my own neck, which most people say if you've never done a guitar before, you shouldn't do, but it's worth a try. And that includes making some of the other parts that most people would buy for the guitar, including the guitar nut, which I've been doing a bit of research on, and I'm going to try and see what I can do about making something custom. And then we come to the choice of woods. Now, I don't have many options, which I will explain in a second, but this might upset a couple of people. And when I say couple, I mean most. And just in case that isn't slightly obvious, that is 10mm by 10mm primary school grade balsa wood. Balsa wood. Good. Get it out of your system. Shout at the screen. Cry if you have to. Ben, what's your language, please? There's children. Come on. So yes, that's what's going to set this project apart. I am making the entire guitar out of balsa wood, and there are 3 main reasons for this. Firstly, it's what I have available. We moved house a few months ago, I don't have my workshop up yet, I don't have anywhere to store my timber, and to be honest, I don't have a great selection other than construction timber anyway. So this is the only timber I've got that's dry, that's ready to use, and is not going to be an absolute pain to sort out. Secondly, it's cheap, as in free. I got it many years ago when I was working at a school and they didn't want it. So rather than going to landfill, I decided to rescue it. Now, at the moment, the prices of timber are frankly extortionate. 2 years ago, you could have bought timber at a quarter of the price that you can now. And that's just basic softwood construction timber, not even the crazy hardwoods that everyone seems to think you need to use to build a guitar. So I'm just going to give it a go. If it works, it will be amazing. If it doesn't work, I've wasted some wood that was going to be thrown away anyway. So, meh. And thirdly, as I alluded to then, I want to see if it's actually possible. Because I've been doing a lot of research over the last couple of years, and I think every single guitar builder that I've ever seen interviewed or do an episode have all said it can't be done. You cannot use balsa wood to make a guitar. And I don't get it. Granted, you're going to want harder woods where possible, better for tone, which is a debate all of its own that I'm not getting into. You've also got the side with the sustainability and the basic strength of the guitar, which makes sense. But for years people said you can't use pine to make guitars, and over the last few years people have regularly been proving these people wrong and have made bodies and necks and all kinds of parts of guitars using pine. Now, balsa, granted, is a hell of a lot softer, but with modern technologies, with modern adhesives, with modern varnishes and equipment, I don't see why it can't work. Now, I'm no professional guitar builder, and these people are, so they've probably got a little bit of insight that I don't. But I don't see the problem in giving it a try. And another issue that I have is that the vast majority of guitars you see being made as customs have all kinds of exotic woods from around the world. Now, granted, you know, purple heart and ebony, they're beautiful woods. But personally, I wouldn't call myself the world's craziest eco-warrior, but I don't see the point in cutting down a tree, shipping it 3/4 of the way around the planet, to then cut it up, turn a large chunk of it into sawdust, and the rest of it hung on a wall, rarely ever played. I don't get that. And yes, before anyone points it out, I am fully aware that balsa wood does come from halfway across the planet, and it's not exactly the most ecologically friendly wood anyway. But it was already here. I'm calling it carbon neutral. Meh. So now I'm off my soapbox. I just want to let everyone know that this is going to be a very basic build. I am using mostly recycled materials and equipment from the previous guitar. I am going to be making this in my spare bedroom with no crazy expensive tools and no crazy expensive equipment. Now, this is mostly because there seems to be a crazy mystique that in order to build custom guitars, you need tens of thousands of pounds worth of crazy tools, and you need specialist equipment, and you need this and that. You don't. This is basically woodwork. There are some technical aspects to it, don't get me wrong. There are some specialist tools that you will need, absolutely. But everyone seems to think that you either need 200-year-old antique tools to make a beautiful guitar, or on the flip side, you need thousands of pounds worth of high-end electrical planers and sanders and whatever else. You really don't. You can use a lot of household DIY tools to make a guitar, and that I'm hoping I will prove through this project. And with that in mind, I'm actually going to be, in between the episodes of me building this guitar, showing people some ways that you can make the tools that you need, in some cases, buy cheaply some of the tools you need, and processes and techniques that do not involve crazy amounts of money or specialist or professional equipment to do what you need to do. So that's it, really. In the next episode, we are actually going to start on the fabrication. My plan is that I want to make the neck through section of the guitar first. So the actual headstock, the neck, and the through section of the body. My main plan for that is, as most people were shouting at the screen previously, this might not work. The balsa wood could possibly fail. There's a good chance it's going to fail. Now, I'm hoping with the right glues and the right techniques, I can get it strong enough that you can string up the guitar and it will play. Now, if that doesn't work, then I will have to go to plan B and come up with some other way of using maybe some kind of core material or some other way of making it strong enough that it will play. Once that has worked and I've got it strung up and got it to the point where it will work, then I can make the rest of the guitar and put it together so it will look as it should. And hopefully at the end of that, and I have been doing my research, this should be the world's first electric balsa wood guitar. So there you go. Hope you don't mind the short episode. I just wanted to give everyone an update, kind of give an initial framing to what this project is going to be, and then I'm hoping in the next couple of weeks we can get out the first episode and I can actually start building something. What a shocker. Until then, thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate everyone, all 12 of you, and I hope to see you in the next episode. Take care. Oh, and if you do feel like subscribing, that would be fantastic. It definitely helps out new channels, and if you have previously subscribed, you don't need to hit the subscribe button again. Hi, Dad. Alright, thanks a lot, everyone. Bye-bye.